everybody, welcome back to We Are the Batman. My name is Mike.
And this is Matthew.
This is your show for getting all things Batman, whether it's news, concepts, or just weird episodes where we talk a lot of smack about some things. And I think that might be a little bit about what we're doing today, because we're talking our both best and worst Batmobiles. Growing up as a kid, Matt, did you ever pretend like your parents' car was the Batmobile and you were just Batman with a chauffeur?
I mean, who didn't? And if you didn't, you're not American.
Yeah, you're not a Batman. You're not a Batman fan if you didn't at some point refer to your mom or your dad as Alfred, like they were your Batmobile chauffeur while you were Batman in the back seat. I'm just saying. So today we are talking best and worst Batmobiles. I don't know about best. I feel like we might both have the same worst. I think it's kind of universal, but we'll see. But let's Matt, like, just in general, like, why is the concept of a Batmobile, do you think, just so universally loved? Like, I mean, the Batmobile, whenever someone sees like a fancy car, like when these Teslas were coming up, people were like, oh, so it's like the Batmobile. Like, why has that become the gold standard?
Because black is cool. I mean, it's true. Like currently, I have a V6 Chevy Impala, and it's black wheels. I was gonna do the black bow ties, but my friend was like, "Bro, you're white. Don't do that."
Huh.
Even though he's wrong, but I mean, yes. But no, it was I think, like, dude, Batman looks cool. All the stuff he has looks cool. Even in most of the things of the movies that are kind of blah, his stuff looks cool. So who doesn't want a really cool looking car that sounds cool, that has cool gadgetry in it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just the
Uh-oh, did I
idea.
lose you?
Oh, you there?
Yeah. Okay. Go
Okay.
ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, it's that idea of, because who doesn't love a cool, sexy car? And then you tell me I can have a cool, sexy car with a jet engine in the back that shoots missiles? Oh, okay. There's nothing wrong with that. With every time a new Batman comes out, a new Batman movie, one of the big questions everyone is always curious about is what's their Batmobile going to look like. When Ben Affleck was cast, there were all kinds of teasers slowly revealing what his Batmobile would look like, and so I think it's kind of neat to think about how we've had so many different ones, and that we can really genuinely have favorites and least favorites. So since I like to end things on a positive note, let's get our least favorite out of the way. And Matthew, what's your least favorite Batmobile?
You know, I think it's very common. It's very easy to hate on Batman and Robin and everything involved in it, but no, that Batmobile's crap.
The Batman and Robin Batmobile is pretty bad.
I don't understand why it's a singer. Like, you could still have Robin in a motorcycle and not have still have two seats on the Batmobile. I understand why it's a one-seater.
It's such a weird choice. It's such a very unusual choice for it to be a one-seater, especially when it's that big. It is a big Batmobile for being a one-seater. And it just the design itself looks so cartoony.
Yeah, especially with like the double fin in the back that's like a V. Like, what is happening right now? I don't understand why that's that way.
And we get this moment where he's chasing down Mr. Freeze, and he's, telling Robin, "Oh, your motorcycle can't make the jump. It can't make the jump. The Batmobile can." If that Batmobile tried to make that jump, that thing is so front heavy. The minute it left the ledge of that building, it would just nosedive. There is no version of this story where that Batmobile makes that jump.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it doesn't make.
It's a dumb idea.
So we're both. Okay, how about this? Since we were talking about the same one, do you have a second least favorite?
I honestly, and I really hate to say it, because I like the design. I don't love it, but the Batman Forever Batmobile. It's kind of the same complaint, which is just it looks so cartoony, and for a hero that's supposed to be all about, the creature of the night. It's so neon and glowy, and it's so front heavy. I don't know why it had to be so damn front heavy.
Yeah, it's like I don't mind it, but it is definitely like the precedent set by the original Batmobile from Batman 89 and Batman Returns. It's like you didn't have to rebuild that. You could just make a different Batmobile.
Yeah.
And it's like they felt like, well, let's just rebuild this one, but add more fins and lights. I'm like, no, just make a different Batmobile. Like if you're gonna go through soft rebooting this thing, do something completely different with the Batmobile.
And it's like the 89 Batmobile, like, yes, it was front heavy. I didn't mind that one as much because it wasn't as big. It wasn't nearly as big. But also it wasn't trying to do the kinds of things the Batmobile was doing in Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. It was still very much a street level vehicle. It wasn't jumping across rooftops, driving up walls. It was there to get him through the streets of Gotham. So I didn't mind as much with the one in Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. It's like, for what you want this thing to do, it can't look like this.
See, I think that the thing for me is there's this anime. His name is Bean Bandit. He's actually like a sub character in the Gunsmith Cast anime, but they made his own show, like a pilot for his own show called Riding Bean. And the things his car does when I went and saw Batman Forever, me and the girl I was dating at the time, we both were like, somebody in this production watched Riding Bean and was like, we should make the Batmobile do these things. So because of that, it kind of has like, I'm not saying it's my favorite, but it's not on the bottom of my list because I kind of like that it's an homage to Riding Bean.
It's yeah. It was every time I see those Batmobiles from Forever, the Schumacher Batmobiles, all I can think to myself is, well, that was a choice.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was that was a choice.
It didn't need as much neon as it had, but I mean, yeah, um,
Much
yeah.
neon.
My second least favorite. I hate to be this way, and it's not because of the movie. It's just the way it looks. I don't like the one from Batman versus Superman. That
Oh,
Batmobile.
really?
It just looks.
I don't like that one.
It to me, it looks like somebody got the tumbler and just smushed it like a pancake. And I just kind of feel like I know you're doing the Arkham game version, but then just do the Arkham game version. Like I just felt like it just wasn't there for me.
See,
Um
for me, the fact that it felt like a smaller tumbler is why I liked it, because I never liked the tumbler. I know that's sacrilegious, but I always felt like the tumbler was just a little too much. Like, I get it, they're going for the whole, his stuff is like, unused military prototypes. It's literally a tank. That's a bit much. Like, when we're talking again about creature of the night, and especially for Bale's Batman being stealthy and mysterious, this is like, to me, the Bat Pod made way more sense. Even the Bat from Rises made more sense to me. The Tumbler just never made a lot of sense.
Well, since we're talking about the Tumblr, you want to roll into our favorites?
Oh God. Oh no. Oh, I just shit on Matt's favorite. Yeah. Hey Matt, what's your favorite Batmobile, Matt?
uh, the one from the 64 Batman show.
Correct. Is it the Tumbler?
Yes.
Oh no. Oh God. I love this show so much.
No, because at the same time, the detractor I have always thought is like, yeah, the moment that my favorite thing in the Dark Knight, not favorite thing, but the favorite thing talking about Batmobiles is when that guy who's their auditor goes like, "Hey, look, I found the blueprints for the freaking Batmobile in our files." Duh, Bruce Wayne's Bat. Like you can't tell me the people who built this thing don't still work at Wayne. Like no contract, dude. Dozens of people made this car just because you painted it black. Like, does that look like the thing we made 10 years ago, but not camo? No, that thing was camo. That's all black. It's not the same thing.
And
Did
honestly,
Batman
like
steal our
the Dark
shit?
Knight Rises, the Dark Knight Rises kind of ruins that too when they get access when they blow the hole under Wayne Tech and get into you know their and like there's a bunch more tumblers, and I'm like, I thought that was supposed to be the only. Why are they making more, and why are they making them with tank cannon? What is happening right now?
There were two. He said there were two. I always assumed there were two because he said it was
Oh,
two of
I
those
always
would
thought it
drag
was
the.
the only one.
No, he says that there was two of those cars make the jump and drag the bridge, and then he said we could never get the bridge to work, but this works fine. I always took it as they built both the vehicles because they would
Oh,
have
I
had to have
never.
used the vehicles to test the bridge. So
Oh,
that's
see, I took what he was saying to mean that like they wrecked one of them trying to do the bridge thing.
it's possible, but it doesn't make sense why there were like two or three more.
Yeah.
I always assumed there would be one more in there, but yeah, I love that thing, and I love it just because for me, what has been the biggest detriment to most of the Batmobiles is that they're not real, and I mean like being a movie nerd, I knew that the original Batmobile could only go 60 miles per hour and couldn't turn, you
Hmm.
know, or that obviously, like you're saying, with the Batman Forever and the Batman and Robin one, like, yeah, those cars are flimsy pieces of crap. If something hit them, they would just explode.
Yeah.
So getting into the tumbler of a car that, like, yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, there is nothing about that screams stealth. I mean, the engine alone is like, I'm Batman coming through the street, Roar! You know. But just the look of it, the ability of it, and this is where for me, it's like you can't stealthily drive a car, no matter what. So get a car that can survive what you're going to do to it. And even though it's borderline kind of cheesy at some points, the whole idea of it being able to do rampless jumps and move throughout the city the way it does, like, yeah, if Batman's not working with the cops, which he clearly is not in the Nolan trilogy, he's got to evade them and be able to pursue people. So that to me is why I thought the Tumbler was just cool because it can bang through things. It's going to be able to take out any other car. I mean, it takes out a cement truck in The Dark Knight Rises,
Yeah, it
you
does.
know, and you're just like, yeah, a car that can do that, that is the car Batman would need because you don't know what's going to happen. So I liked that as much as I would have, as much as I liked the whole the Batman one that's like that could be a car and I just added crap onto it. I also like that like no one has the Batmobile except for Bane 6 years later when he blows up the
When he has
safe or
three.
whatever. Yeah, yeah. But I mean but I do think the flip of that is like that car is so original. Somebody would be like, "Didn't we make those? Isn't that the bridge car? Wow, that's really coincidental that Bruce Wayne came back and a couple weeks later, Batman's driving in that thing we built."
It's yeah. Look, I get why it's one of those. I don't. It's not like I don't get why people love it. I get why people love it. It's cool. Just for me, I'm like that. It's cool. That's not a Batmobile. That's a tank.
Yeah, at least put a bat symbol on it or something.
Yeah, there's nothing even remotely like bat themed about it. It's just a black tank. Like at least the Pattinson Batmobile has kind of a bat like shape to it. In the back where the engine is housed. The tumbler is just it's just a big ball of death.
Yeah, which is why it's great. And, you know, as much as I'm not the biggest fan of the Bat Pod because physics, it was cool.
Well,
Like,
you say that, but you realize that was an actual working thing, right?
no, I meant like it coming out of the Batmobile physics.
Oh, that makes no sense whatsoever. Doesn't make a lick of sense at all.
But he's dressed in a Batman outfit, so whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm not gonna try to inject logic into Batman.
all right, so let's go to your favorite. Is it the same that you did to me? Like, is it the Batman versus Superman one, and I shit on it, and it's your favorite, or do you have a different favorite?
No, I did almost pick that one though, because I do really like that Batmobile. I do think it's really cool. Mine, the more I thought about it, and this is so weird. The more I thought about it, because I also almost picked the one from the Batman, but I need more of it before I can really decide. Because to me, as cool as it was, it felt like it wasn't done yet.
Yes.
It's like he's still building it. Um, I honest to God had to go with the '89 Batman.
I can't knock it, dude. Like that's one
It's
of the like there's elements of that movie that I'm like, bleh, but like, dude, that Batmobile, it is
it
sleek as shit.
works.
Well, and on top of that, you can't downplay the importance of it because it influences the way the Batmobile looks for a decade.
And not only that, it's like when you say like, "Hey, design me a car that's Batman themed."
Yeah.
Like that, it looks like that. Like the '66 Batmobile is cool. It's a cool, sexy, sleek car. It doesn't feel like a Batmobile. You know, it doesn't feel like a bat themed car. As much as I love the the Bruce Timm animated series Batman, that Batmobile is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It is like a mile long, and it's kind of got the same problem of Batman Forever's and Batman and Robins. It's so front heavy, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know how you drive that car. Uh, but there is just, and because when they did the redesign of the Bruce Timm stuff going into like the new Batman Adventures, that Batmobile more closely resembled the '89 one.
Yeah.
It was like they did like they blended original Bruce Timm one and the '89 one. They made it smaller. They made it more car like, and there is just something about that '89 Batmobile. It's bat themed just enough. It's it's street level. It's got cool stuff on the inside, but it's there to be a street level, like to pull off specific missions. It just works on every level.
And the fact that that there's been jet engines in the Batmobile a lot, but that they never have intakes. So you just make
Yes,
the entire front of the car an intake, like it just looks cool. It looks cool. I can't say it doesn't. It's great.
it looks cool, and like I said, having that intake, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
It
And it
They made
muscles
it
it
make
up.
sense. Oh, it does. It looks good. It
Yeah.
looks really good. Is the armor thing a little ridiculous? Sure. Do I care?
No,
Not the
no,
slightest.
it is not ridiculous. When Batman stands in front of it and says shields and it puts shields on, totally in. When he
Yeah.
stands in the middle of the road, says stop and it stops instantaneously, totally in. Like
Oh,
that's one of those things like, yes, that's great.
I love that it's voice controlled, and not only voice controlled, but to the effect where he just goes, "Party's over," and it's like that. Really, that's your code word for? Oh, that was Bruce Wayne having fun. That was him developing voice commands after having a couple of drinks.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it there was one time I was hanging out with my buddy. This is 93, 92, and my
Yeah.
dad was coming to pick us up, and he's like slowing down in front of the house, and I step out into the street and I go, "Stop." And just as my dad hits the brakes and the car stops, and my buddy's like, "That was awesome."
it's it's just it's a cool Batmobile. We've had a lot of good ones. I mean, there have been a lot of cool Batmobiles. I know we've both kind of taken shots at each other, but is the Tumbler cool? Yes. To me, it just doesn't work as a Batmobile. Is the Batman v Superman one cool? Yes, for you, it doesn't work as a Batmobile. The Pattinson one is awesome. It's a muscle car with a jet engine. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's what it is. But there is just something that is so quintessentially Batman to me about that '89 design.
I think you're yeah. There's as much as like I said, I don't particularly care for the movie. You cannot knock. You cannot take away what it did. It
Yeah.
influences the look of Batman through, I would dare say, the Nolan films.
Oh,
You
for
know,
sure.
it influences him in the animation, like all across the board. It really does, and you know, it's dated to me. It has its issues. Had some of those back then, but also like it does have a charm. Like I can't like there is a reason why most people love that movie that I don't. I can't, like I'm not gonna crap on you for loving it. It's not mine, but I also go like it has a charm. Like Michael Keaton is charming as hell as Bruce Wayne. Doesn't make sense the way he's
Yeah, he
acting
is.
as Bruce Wayne, but he's charming as crap. I understand how he bagged Vicky Vale and Michelle Pfeiffer, but that's a different podcast episode. But no, I think it looks cool. Yeah, even the ones that we didn't like still look cool. We said
Oh,
least
sure.
favorite, not crap.
Yeah. The only one I think actually is ridiculous and is a terrible design and they should be ashamed of themselves is Batman and Robin. That's the only one where I'm just like, no, no, this doesn't work on any level. There's no part of this that I find
Yeah,
appealing at all. This is just ridiculous. Like the Batman Forever one, yeah, it looks cool. Doesn't make any sense. Looks cool.
look,
Doesn't make any sense.
there's a reason why there is a Hot Wheel of every version of the Batmobile, but that one.
Exactly. Exactly. You can get a Hot Wheels car of every Batmobile except Batman and Robin because it sucks.
Yeah. All right. So I got a little curveball question for you. I think you may have answered it, but I'm gonna
Okay.
toss it out there. In animation, what's your favorite Batmobile?
Ah, there haven't been very many is the thing.
I mean, you got the two
It's
in the
not
Batman. You got three different
yeah.
ones in Batman the Animated Series per se. I mean, two. The one he had in Justice League, Brave and the Bold.
Um it's not the Batman Beyond one, I'll tell you that. That one to me, like it's a cool design, but that Batman didn't need a Batmobile. Like full stop. He could fly. He didn't need it.
Yeah.
Um it's God, that's tough. It's not the Brave and the Bold. It's not the Brave and the Bold just because I don't like the pink. I don't like the pink trim. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
The
Um
yeah.
it's there was a weird usage of pink on Batman stuff in the Brave and the Bold that I never totally understood.
I
It's
think it's supposed to be metallic red and it comes across as pink depending on your television.
so then I'd probably have to go with the um the Bruce Timm redesign one from the new Batman Adventures, the one where they kind of merged the original 90s animated with the 89 one and just kind of made it a little more make a little bit more sense. Probably that one. I don't know. The animated Batmobiles haven't exactly been great.
Yeah. I give nod to Batman Brave and the Bold's one just because it turned into a robot armor for him, but that's just ridiculousness.
Well,
Um,
that whole show was batshit crazy, pun intended. Um, yeah, just
no, you know which one always cracked me up, and I'm so mad I never bought it, and I should
hmm.
have, was the Batmobile from Lego Batman. It
No,
was
you know what? That's a good Batmobile. That's a
it's
good Batmobile.
so over the top nonsensical greatness.
That
Like,
movie that movie is a work of art. I don't care what anybody says. You talk about love letters to Batman. It is the Lego Batman movie. Yeah, the animated ones haven't exactly knocked it out of the park. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah, the Corvette Batmobile from Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, I think is probably my favorite, just because it's like, yeah, they just put bat stuff on a Corvette. That's perfect. That is what it should be. Got a favorite Batwing?
you're not really. I think the Bat plane has always kind of been it's probably the 89 one again because it's
Yeah,
the one that I feel works the best for what it's going because after that they all just kind of because even the one in Batman Forever is just kind of a rehash of the 89 Batman one.
it's a sleeker version.
Yeah, it's because the Bat in Dark Knight Rises is ridiculous.
Yeah,
The one in the Bruce Timm stuff is stupid. It just looks like a plane. Yeah, the Bat plane's one of those things I feel like we've never really hit the mark on fully. It's one of those things we've always because also even when you read the comics, most of the versions of the Batwing all kind of tend to look the same. I feel like because it's not something that gets used very often, and so I feel like we just are like, well, let's just make it the 89 one and have it look a little bit more new, and we'll call it a day.
yeah. I, yeah. I actually thought the one from Batman versus Superman was really cool. I thought it
It
had like a
was. That
nice
was
V2O look that
yeah.
made sense.
See, I always forget that was in there, which is I always forget that vehicle is in that movie because it's kind of overshadowed by the next scene, which is the warehouse fight.
Yeah.
Uh, but it is, yeah, no, it's a cool look. That one's not bad. I like it better than that weird military transport they had in Justice League, but I get why that had to exist. I get why they needed that. It just looked stupid.
just just get a bat van. That's all I'm
Just oh
saying.
my god, guys, come on. You could. I mean, it's just like I'm like that's the best you could come up with. I love you, Zack Snyder. I really do, but that's the best. Okay, whatever. It is what it
It
is. It's fine.
was so stupid.
It was
I
stupid.
remember
It was so
like seeing in the
stupid.
trailer going like, "Is that Brainiac? What is that? Why?"
Oh, I know. It's just why? Why are we? Why? Again, I get why we need it, but it's so stupid. It's so
Yeah.
stupid. Well, for you, what about bat cycles?
Um.
We've had a few.
Yeah. You know which one? This. I mean, it's me, bro. Like Nightwing's motorcycle when he has a motorcycle in the Batman New Adventures of Batman. I liked his
Yeah.
motorcycle. I know it's kind of a cheat, but I always cracked up at like everything Batman has. Robin had or Nightwing had the motorcycle version.
But
Batman has a Batmobile. He has a motorcycle.
I'm gonna say something sacrilegious, and feel free to come at me on Twitter at Mr. Mike Shea on Twitter. I love Robin's Redbird motorcycle in Batman and Robin.
I don't even
It's
remember what
cool.
it looks like.
It's cool looking. I had the toy. It was one of my favorite Batman action figure toys. It was a cool looking motorcycle. It was cool. I don't care what anybody says. It was cool. You're Googling it right now, aren't you?
I am. Robin, what's it called?
The Redbird, Robin's Redbird
Redbird.
motorcycle. It was cool. I don't care what anyone says. That movie sucks on so many different levels, but it is a cool looking motorcycle.
Yeah, I'll give that. I'll give that. I could
Yeah.
have less of a fairing in the back, but that does look pretty dope.
Yeah. No, it's cool looking. I could totally, that is something that is like right out of a comic book. It is cool looking. And it's got a great entrance too when it pops in the movie. Like it pops up in that pod and the pod opens up and the bike's there. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what that is? That's sexy. I like that. I'm a big fan of that. Well done. But I also do really like the Bat Pod. I don't like how it comes out of the Batmobile, but the Bat Pod's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting to me when they give him vehicles that are different, so it gives him the edge above other vehicles. But there's a couple moments that Bat Pad, I'm like, no, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, not feeling it. I'm not feeling it, Mr. Krabs.
But it looks great. It looks great.
Yeah.
All right, man. I think we've covered all of the Bat vehicle options. I don't know if we want to get into Bat boats.
We absolutely do not, because there's only been two and one of them was just a speedboat. So I don't really, and there's only ever been one bat copter, and it had shark repellent in it, and that's all that needs to be said. So those are our favorite and least favorite Batmobiles. Let us know what you guys think, and let us know what yours are. You can let us know on Twitter. Find us on Twitter at We Are The Batman. You can find me at Mr. Mike Shea.
And you can hit me up on Twitter at Mr. J Ninja, or if you want to chat about what we talk about here, hit the podcast Twitter, or hit me at www.facebook.com/group/fanboy junction with a K, and we can chit chat.
And we will see you guys again next time on the next episode of We Are The Batman. Same bat time, same bat podcast channel.